Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the sound test room. So today I'm going to show you how to connect a music keyboard to your iPad. I'm going to go through the various different ways to do this, various different types of connections, and I'm going to do it all step by step, so it should be quite straightforward. Okay, so the iPad and iOS makes connecting music keyboards super simple. But first of all, you're going to need a couple of things. If you've got an iPad 1, 2, or 3, you're going to have to get one of these, which is the camera connection kit with the 30-pin thing. You can get them from the Apple Store or Amazon. I would recommend that anything that you're going to directly connect to your iPad, make sure it's Apple. It's just a thing. You know, you can get cheaper generic kind of connectors, but I've got a few of those, and some don't work, and I've always had a few problems. I've never had any real issues with the Apple stuff. So first of all, if you've got an iPad 1, 2, or 3, I don't know if you can, I hope you can see that, the 30-pin connector, which with the USB in. You also, with the 1, 2, and 3 one, you also get one with an SD card for transferring video files and photos and stuff. But the one we're interested in is the one with the USB on, like that, okay? Well, we're using an iPad 4 today, so I'm going to use the camera connection kit with the lightning connector on the end. Still got the USB, but it's the lightning connector one. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start with the most sort of cheapest kind of Midi controller. This Korg Nano Key is super thin and really quite cheap, not very expensive. But it's a good way to start if you just want to have a play around. You might already have one you've been using with your piece. I got this years ago. So with this, you get this cable, which is a USB cable, but with the tiny sort of mini USB there and a normal size one there like that. So all we need to do is plug in the thing there and plug the ordinary USB into our lightning connector, and then plug the lightning connector in there, and you'll see it gets its power from the iPad. Now, I like the controllers to get their power from the iPad, just makes my job easier. So then we need to select the synthesizer we want to use. So we'll start with Sunriser, which makes things very simple, but all the synths connect fine, no problem, and we should. There you go. That's how easy it is. No setting up, no messing around. Connects super quick. Now, if you go into utilities, you can see Midi and then inputs, and it says keyboard there. Okay, so which is, if we deselect it, napping. But it should automatically detect it like it just did. So that's the first one. Okay, so we can close that. Let's unplug this again and start from the beginning sort of thing. Okay, so we can put that one over there. Now the next one you may have something slightly bigger. This controller is, again, it's not very expensive. It's way less than $100, or maybe 60 quid, something like that, 50 quid. It's the Korg. Now this comes in different sizes, okay? I got this one because it helps me make the videos and it's easy, and it gets its power from the iPad, okay? So what we need to do now is select the different cable. Now for this one, and for most keyboards, you'll need this one. Now they usually come with them. This came with the micro key, and it has the slightly different one, you know, like a printer type USB cable. You can get them anywhere, you know, you've probably got a stack knocking around in the house, but there you go. So this one goes into there. Excuse me, I've got a cold. That one goes into there like that. Okay, and then same thing again, just into the lightning connector, and then the lightning connector goes into the iPad and gets its power from the iPad. Okay, so, and again, and also just to show how simple it is, let's get rid of Sunriser and open iSem. Now iSem takes a little bit of time to load, so just bear with me just a sec. Okay, hang on, let's adjust my mixer. Oh, it's loading now. So theoretically, this should just work straight away. You know, you see how ridiculously simple. iOS and iPad makes connecting a MIDI keyboard. If we didn't have, and also as well, is ridiculously fast. If we selected some sort of a lead sound, very, very quick. Now, we've got that far, so you know now how to connect your two types of different connections. Now let's go a little bit further. Now, so let's unplug that. Now it may be that somewhere you have one of these old, maybe old home keyboards. You know the type, maybe the Yamaha ones or the Casio ones. You know, on the back of nearly every single keyboard, there is MIDI connections in and out, and with some in, out, and through. Okay, now you can still connect your iPad to one of those keyboards, but you're going to need some sort of USB MIDI cable. Okay, so you can search on Amazon. There's some on there. There are some proper ones. IK Multimedia make a MIDI in and out, but I'm going to show you one with iRig HD. So iRig HD, I like using this for the MIDI at the moment because it lets me do audio and MIDI. So I can plug a guitar in, a microphone in, but I can also plug a MIDI cable into it as well. And it comes with this cable, which is a MIDI cable with a little MIDI thing. And on the side here, it says MIDI in. Okay, so we plug that into there. Now, this will be the same for, if you've got like MIDI to USB, this will still go into the back of your keyboard, and your USB end will go into your lightning connector and then into this. But this comes with already installed lightning connector cables, and also you get 30 pin as well. So we need a keyboard now with no USB MIDI control, which some of the older ones don't have. So the only one I've got without a MIDI control, well, actually, no, there's two, but it doesn't matter. We've got down here this Akai Miniac. Now, I don't know, hopefully you can see the back. It has MIDI in, MIDI out, and MIDI through, but it has no USB controller. So until I got the iRig Pro, there was no way I could get this to control the synths on there. Now, if I had a MIDI in and out going into the iPad, I could get the iPad to control this, but I haven't. So let's switch that on and get our MIDI cable. So this is plugged into iRig Pro. Now we just need to plug this. Now it's MIDI in, so this has to go into MIDI out. Okay, so you plug that into MIDI out. Now, with some of these, you need to switch a thing inside the MIDI control center of the keyboard to local off. I don't ever do that because I just turn the volume down. So that usually works. But since I haven't got this, it wouldn't matter if the volume was up. But since I haven't got this plugged into a mixer or a speakers or anything, you're not going to hear the sound from this. Now, what we have got to do now is plug the iRig Pro into the iPad, and you'll see this little blue light lights up saying that this is powered by the iPad. So this takes its power from the iPad. We've got MIDI in going into MIDI out. So we're sending signals out of the synth and into the iPad. So let's try this one with, I don't know, the iMini. Okay, so there's our sound from there, and there's our sound from that. And you can see how simple it is. There's no having to go into menus. There's no having to muck around with anything. If we hit connected, I think maybe we can find out wherever it is for MIDI. There you go. Connected on iRig Pro. So it just recognizes it straight away. And again, it's just as quick and as effective as using the USB one. So, excuse me, that's me clipping. So there you go. You can see that you can get anything now in, and that's how easy it is to connect the keyboard up to an iPad. So let's go a little bit further now. Let's switch that off, unplug that. You know, there's no messing around. This is what's great. There's no mucking about with MIDI and connecting keyboards with the iPad. You know, you have some problems with laptops and computers and Macs and all the rest of it, but this is simple, easy peasy. Right, so we don't need that again, and we don't need that again. So we can basically put all this away with cables everywhere. Right, okay, so we just get rid of that one. Now, another keyboard that I use quite a lot is the Korg MicroStation, which is similar to the Akai because it has its own sounds. It's its own independent standalone keyboard, if you like. But this one has a USB on it, which does make this work as a MIDI controller. So all I needed to do with that is to plug it in, switch it on, and then we need some cables, pain, to get the ordinary USB cable, the one with the thicker end, and then plug the lightning connector in as per usual. And then we can just plug this into there. Okay. And then plug again this into there. So if we open iGrand, see? Now, I don't know if you noticed, but with this one, there's a controller on it. And this is what I was saying with some of these keyboards, although they'll work as a MIDI controller, there's certain things you'll need to adjust inside the MIDI controls for the keyboard. Now, if I went into the MIDI controls in this, scroll down and found for controllers and switch that on, then all this works fine. You know, I'm not going to go through that now because it just takes too long. But you can see that again. That's great. Now, we can stop playing with that now. And we'll go again another step further. But just to show you that a lot of keyboards will have USB MIDI control. Some won't, like the Akai, some will. But you can see it's still easy. And if you need to get one of these because they're really handy to have. So we can unplug that again. So let's go a little bit more deeper now. Not much longer left, I promise. Okay, so but I wanted to get all this MIDI stuff done in one hit. So anyway, that's that. We can chuck that away. Like standard headphone cables and mic cables. Okay, so there's that. Now, the last thing I want to show you is the slightly more advanced uses for MIDI, and that they still connect this. So if you've got something like this, this is still a MIDI keyboard, but has all these controls and pads. Now, these things don't make any sound on their own, but they're MIDI controllers. And the only thing I have on the side here is a little USB again. But this one this is the Arturia Analog Lab or Mini Lab, which is a universal MIDI controller. So this will control. They'll all work with the PCs and Macs. This has a sustain pedal. But I haven't got one, so anyway. So it's the same kind of thing. And it's the same cable again. So we just take the cable, this one, make sure it's plugged into your lightning connector or your 30-pin connector, depending on what you have. So we'll plug this in here, like that. and plug that in there like that. And it takes, and this is why I got the Arturia one, because it also takes its power from the iPad, which is great for me. It's dead handy. Now, with this one, I have to press Shift and 1, which puts it into absolute mode, which you can control anything, because when it first comes shipped, it's in relative mode, which is for controlling the software that comes with this on a PC. Anyway, so this is great. I want to show you this with Sunriser. Okay. So we'll wait till Sunriser works again. So here's there we go. So again, very, very simple. Now, if we hit this button here, which says Learn, okay, what we can do is if we select, let's say, our ADSR there like that, and I just choose any of these controllers, say for instance, I'm going to have parameter 4, I'm going to have these ones along here for ADSR. So, and let's try the release, and we'll set the release at that 72. So as soon as I move a control, it'll pick it up. Now let's see, what else can we do? We can do absolutely anything actually. So we'll check, we'll pick cut off there, and we'll have cut off there. So 74, and we can use any of these controls here and map them to this here. So let's see what happens now if I there. I don't know if you can see that moving. We turn it back down, and our release, which we set up. And the cut off, choose this one. Okay. So anyway, guys, there's a quick basic how to plug in virtually any kind of MIDI keyboard into the iPad, and how simple it is, and how quick and how easy it is to make it work fine. Of course, once you're in and you're set up, you're free to record or do whatever you like. I really hope you found this useful, and I'll see you later. Bye.